Hello everybody and welcome back to another art lesson. Today we will be talking about self-portraits. We're going to talk about a couple artists who are known for their self-portraits. We're going to talk about why they're so important and why lots of artists have been doing them for such a long time. And then we'll be making our own self-portraits. So let's talk about what we're going to need for today. So for today, you're going to need a pencil with an eraser. You're going to need a piece of paper or your sketchbook. And you're also going to need something to color with. You can use whatever you'd like to add color to your self-portraits today. So I drew a little self-portrait here and I painted it too. And I did a little thought bubble of some interesting self-portrait facts, okay? So the most famous self-portrait painter was, we just talked about him not too long ago, this guy, Vincent van Gogh. So Vincent van Gogh painted himself 37 times in 4 years. That's a lot of times. That's more times than I've ever painted myself. And I am a lot older than 4 years old, right? So he painted himself 37 times in 4 years. So he and other artists like Frida Kahlo, let's look at Frida Kahlo's artwork here. Frida Kahlo is another self-portrait painter who is known for painting herself over and over again, okay? Adding lots of bright colors. And one thing Frida Kahlo did a lot of in her self-portraits was tell a story about herself. So she put some animals in her artwork because she loved animals. She put plants behind her. She often expressed how she was feeling, okay? So those are two artists that were known for their self-portraits, okay? So with better and cheaper mirrors, more available in the mid-15th century, more and more artists tried to do some self-portraits. So self-portraits have been around for a really long time, since ancient Egypt, okay? And before they had mirrors, they would use things like stones, really shiny, reflective stones like obsidian, or they would use metal to see their reflection. And before metal, they would maybe even use water. So they would collect water and you could see your reflection in a lake if it's really still, right? So they would use water to see a reflection long time ago before mirrors. So self-portraits have been around for a very long time, okay? So why are self-portraits so important? Why are they important? Well, for some artists, it's like keeping a diary, okay? Some of you might keep a diary. And it's important because it lets other people know how you're feeling, okay? And it also is a way of documenting how we as an artist see ourselves or want to be seen, okay? So you can draw yourself any way you'd like today, all right? Try to use your imagination, okay, in your self-portrait. All right, so before we get started doing our self-portraits today, I thought it would be fun to talk a little bit about the human anatomy of the eye, since we will be drawing our eyes today. So before you get started drawing your eye, notice it is a kind of an oval shape. So you're going to want to draw your eye in the shape that you see it. You're also going to want to add the iris, which is this part where our eye color is. The white part of our eye is also known as the sclera. The black part, which some of you might know, is referred to as our pupil. And sometimes you'll see a reflection, like you can see right now from the window, you'll see a reflection on the pupil or the iris, and it might go all over the pupil and the iris and the sclera, okay, if the reflection is big enough, okay? The other things that you're going to want to add are your lower eyelid and your upper eyelid, as well as your eyelashes, both under and above your eye. Oh, and last but not least, the little red part on the corners of your eye is known as the caruncle. So don't forget to add your caruncles on either eye when you're drawing your eyes today. So really quick, before we get started on our self-portraits today, I'm going to talk about something that is very important when you're doing any kind of portrait. It's going to come in handy today for our self-portraits, and that is the proportions of the face, okay? Where things lie on the face when we're drawing them, okay? So the eyes, oddly enough, are about halfway down your head. And that is because you have to save room for your brain and your hair and your eyebrows and all the other stuff that's happening above your eyes, okay? So I want you to first draw a upside down egg for your shape, for your face, and then draw your eyes about halfway down your head, okay? So halfway down from your eye line to your chin is where your nose is gonna go. So that's where I put my nose line, okay? And you can draw a nose however you'd like to draw a nose. It changes depending on which direction you're looking at your nose, okay? If you're looking at it straight on like this, you might want to draw your nose something like that. And halfway down from your nose and your chin line is where your lips or your mouth is going to go, okay? So where your ears fit in, it's very convenient. They fit right in between your eye line and your nose line. Right there, okay? And after you put that in, you can go ahead and put in, like I put my eyebrows in, you can put your hair in, and you can make your self-portrait look more like you. So after you get your facial features in, your ears, you're gonna wanna make sure you put your neck in, just so that your head is not floating in outer space. And then you can go ahead and start adding some shadows where you might see some shadows in your face, maybe around your mouth or here around your nose and your eyes. Okay, so you can go ahead and start shading around those areas to give your face some dimension, okay? And lastly, you can go ahead and put in some stuff in the background if you'd like to. Put in something that tells a little bit about yourself. Maybe you want to put some plants or some animals in the background. Some people have been putting San Francisco in the background, okay? Someone put the Eiffel Tower in. I'm assuming they like Paris, okay? So tell a little about yourself in the background of your self-portrait if you'd like to, okay? And again, you can add whatever you want to use color today. You can use any sort of medium you'd like to add color to your self-portraits, and try not to get frustrated with them, okay? If you're having a hard time drawing the eyes or the nose, just take a deep breath and relax and just do the best that you can, okay? I hope you all have fun, and I can't wait to see some of your self-portraits. I'll see you all next week.